I'm Delia Codes, and this is my first Node project from start to finish. You get to watch me. Do uh, pretty much the entire project, um, and all my mistakes. Everything else going on. Sometimes you don't get to watch me fix the mistakes. Most recently, I imported a variable from my model as one lowercase thing, and it was actually an uppercase thing. Mostly because I discovered that during my mentoring meeting. I'm part of a coding bootcamp, Thankful, and this is my Node project. So yeah, we're pretty far along. We have the capability to add into the database. I have added a calendar onto the web page, and yeah, I think at this point we need to make a nav bar, and actually I should probably call it my Trello, so to make that happen. We need to make a nav bar, and then what we will need to do is, after we have made the nav bar, we'll need to make the different elements like the calendar and the add meal tab, that sort of thing. Hide and show based upon what that looks like. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, and then okay. And so what we'll need to do is we'll need to move the calendar into essentially a separate view using that nav bar. Okay, so that's kind of it for now. I am going to share my screen, and I think last time, okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Last time I had a weird error. I had this weird context type HTML. Whoa, that's not what I intended to do. I had a context type HTML error. And if you look, this is really, really long. Like, really, really long. In part because there's all this random data in here, in part because this isn't styled the way I need to. And, I get it. My image is kind of oh, I'm just going to repeat. Which is, okay. So what we need to do is we need to add a nav bar up here for each of these different meals. And vaguely follow my design that we created. And then each of these elements we're going to show or create, we're going to show or hide depending upon where that nav bar is. And after that, we need to add a drop down to our form to select the day of the week that it should go on, and then make sure that our server side will store that, and then JSON endpoint, which returns event-based meals and days, so that I have something for the calendar to display. Right now I have the calendar displaying the event data that comes with full calendar. Okay, and this is how I fixed the problem last time. This, since it has a comment at the beginning, needs to be text HTML, not text CSS, so that it gets interpreted in the correct way. And it gets applied. Which I'm hoping, I think that should be what it is. I'm also kind of wondering if... I'm kind of tempted to play around with it and try to make sure that... Because if we go to full calendar and then dist and then full calendar.css, so this comment is the problem, I think. And what I'm wondering is whether or not we can try it at least. And then let's open up our text HTML again. And then let's try text CSS. And then let's run our server and see if we get the same error. If we get the same error, that's okay. I just kind of, because I don't necessarily think that I don't necessarily think that we want to change the file, and, because it gets built each time in our thing. But at least it would be good to know that that's, like, the problem. In the meantime, and I definitely need to open up okay, it looks the same. Okay, so it's a characteristic of the file. It does not. Okay, so let's undo our change. Let's click save. Actually, let's just discard changes. Okay, so let's create our navbar. So let's do nav, and then let me look at. So I kind of want to. It doesn't necessarily need to be a page, but it does need to be a clickable button, sort of thing. Okay, so let's do a little bit of searching on nav bars. Make sure I'm doing the right sort of thing. Okay. So we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that. We're done with this. This can go away. We're good on here. We're good on here. We're good on here. And then Webpack CSS loader. Yeah, no, I don't need you. And we're going to keep these things around. Okay. So this is our stuff that we're going to keep around, and this is this is going to be our. This is going to be our searching tab. Navbar HTML. Because I guess I could just use a link. You know what I mean? But okay, I would rather not go through W3 schools. I could do W3 schools, but that's not a bad thing. They just do ULs. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. And we're gonna say A. Actually, I think we only need 2 right now. Or do we? Because the way I had thought about it is that, okay, so let's go through the style, right? So the way, ooh, excuse me. Apparently that was a definitely big yawn. Okay, so the way I thought about it in my designs was I was gonna do a logo up here and then 3 navs here. And each of those nav bars are clickable, and then like you would have navigating within that section. We're not doing a list right now, so I think that we can go with add a meal, schedule, and then current meals. Like, I don't think that we need to do this overly complicated thing, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think that 3 would be really good. And that way we can just drop in current meals. And maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. Like, I don't think I am. At least not immediately. I mean, there may be a way in which I need to be thinking about this, because I don't yet know how we're gonna be able to delete meals, that sort of thing. And I feel like I'm gonna end up reworking this. Add a meal. Okay, but I feel like I'm gonna end up reworking this. And then we're gonna say schedule. And I mean, I feel like displaying our current, I'm kind of even wondering whether or not we need to display our current meals. Because hear me out. It's like, okay, if we're cutting down our features, right? And if we're cutting down our, oh, you can't see my screen. Oh dear. Um, okay. Now you can see my screen, but you can't see me. There we go. That was weird. Okay, I'm gonna need to double check that you can see my screen every time. Okay. Nobody's commented on my chat, thankfully, but, I don't think that many people are watching. Okay, so, anyway, I don't know if we need to display current meals, because I get displaying current meals outside of... I think we need 2 tabs. We definitely need add a meal and schedule. I think that... the meal inside... I think that I need to figure out the current meals. So let's put a note of some sort. And I should probably switch this to doing. Do I even need the current meals tab? If it is being displayed in the calendar, perhaps I don't need it. I don't need an overall. I don't need an overall view. Okay. And so we're going to comment this out. And we're going to leave that at that. And then we're going to save. And then let's say adding navbar. Okay. This is, I need to quit Slack. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, so we've got our navbar. I feel like I should probably do some sort of like IDs, that sort of thing, or class. But I think that like the Mashable thing, the nav A, is probably actually a really good idea. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at what it looks like. And I should probably run that as a watch, but at least kind of take a look at what it's going to do. I think, so let's open up the CSS while we're working on that. Though what we can do here is, let's take a look. Okay, add a meal and schedule. It's really tiny. Okay, so let's see here. So we need to style our nav, and we need to style our nav A. Okay. And let's put nav right here. And we want to say width 100%. Because, we can. And then what we want to do is we want to say display flex. No. And then what we probably will want to do is do some sort of like portrait view, column, thing versus non-portrait view. Okay, so, and then let's go to nav A. And then what do we want the background to be? I don't necessarily think that we want the... So what we want to do is we want to have add a meal be on one side and schedule on the other on landscape. And on mobile, what we want to do is we're going to want to have them, um, do their thing. So let's create a background first. What backgrounds did I use for these? I guess that doesn't tell me. Okay. Aha. Okay, so for meals I use the blue. And for... Okay. Meal tab. And I don't know, this CSS is fascinating. Okay. So, position absolute. Yeah, I don't necessarily like that. Because that's kind of... Okay, so in mobile, the way I had thought about it is that you have 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I'm really glad that I have these down so that I can be like, I made it to my specification, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, so let's do nav a... Okay, so this is going to be your hover color, is this right here, and the box. And then, so that's going to be your hover color. And then that is going to be your um, basic default color. Okay, so let's do nav a, and then we're going to say hover. And then we're going to grab that background. And I do appreciate the fact that I can like copy paste. Okay. All right. And then, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, um, let's create our IDs. Nav1, and then we're gonna say ID nav2. And then what we're gonna say here is we're gonna say nav. Okay, and then nav1, and then we're going to do nav2. And let's go here. And let's grab our okay, and then okay. And then what we'll probably need to do is all right. No, it's color. And then this one needs to be white. And then this one needs to be black. Okay. Let's see if my... I think I need to... I don't know. Let's find out. No, this is the Heroku app. I need the local host. Haha! Look at that. It does its thing. Okay. Awesome. I mean, you know, they don't do anything. Oh, look. The border works, but the color does not. Okay. I mean, I like the box around it. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I wonder why the background doesn't work. I know. Big questions. Okay. So we at least have a tiny nav bar. Let's see if we can make it bigger. I kind of think that if we remove display flex, it'll be a little bit bigger, but you know. Okay. Elements. All right. Nav. Let's remove the display flex and see what happens. No. We're operating on the body. We need, let's remove display flex here. Okay. Display flex is actually doing exactly what we need to be doing. Oh my god, margin auto. Okay. With the 100% would, yeah. Okay. So let's see if we can change you to width 100%. Okay. And then let's do nav2. And let's say width. Great. Okay, so we wanted, actually what we can do is we can do a nav A. We can add that to a nav A. Okay, and then let's do, okay, let's move this up here. I really don't understand that black box. Like, I like it, but I'm like, okay, I'm going up instead of down. I need nav. And then from after nav is going to be nav A, and then after nav A is going to be nav A hover. Okay, what in the hell? I'm glad it's back to normal, but those things are really weird. Text align center. Okay, great. Voila. I mean, it's not like perfect, but you know, it's actually pretty decent. And we did kind of want to create a I mean, we did want to make the text bigger. All right, what did I use for the text? I did, so title is font size 2em. So we're going to say font size. Okay, so let's do font size 3em. Perfect. Okay. I mean, I kind of like the visual, like, white in between the nav bar and the thing. And so I kind of think that it might be really good to do that. So let's do text size to font size 2em. Wait, font language override. I picked font size. Okay. Okay. That looks like what it needs to look like. I need to make them clickable, and I need to make them go places. So let's make our white bar division in between those two. But let's commit what we have. Okay. And we're going to do that, and we're going to do that, and we're going to say navbar created. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a div in between our thing, our header, and our navbar. And then we're going to say is ID equals blank space. Actually, that should be a class. Because I don't think, I mean, we might need more. And if need be, we can specify ID. Okay, so let's do in here after nav, but okay. We're going to say dot blank space. I think that's how I spelled it. Let's double check. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to say here width 100%. Let me put an actual colon in there, and then background equals F, 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 F. I think that's the appropriate number. Yeah. And then we're going to say that. And we're going to say that. And let's take a look at how it looks. Maybe it doesn't show up. Might not. And let's do a height of, say, 1 em. Make it big. Whoa. Aha. That's actually pretty decent. I'm not sure if I like it, but it looks a lot better. Let's look at it on responsive. Actually, I think I just want to create the height of this to be bigger. I don't think I want to create white space. Does that make sense? Because I think what I want to do is I want to create this to be bigger with the red. Okay, so let me, let's delete the element on here and let's see what happens. Because actually, let's load localhost here, and then let's delete the element, and then we can switch between the two. Okay, great. No, I just want to delete the element. Okay. Okay, I admit, it's more visually pleasing to have... Okay, so let's play around with it here. And let's make... Okay, yeah. It's actually a good thing to have. Like, I don't necessarily think that that's what I need to do because as much as I don't necessarily think I like the white space. So let's turn it. Okay, so let's. Okay, I actually like that. Okay, let's just delete the background then. Blank space. I mean, I think it actually kind of looks decent. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so let's check our Trello. Navbar. Um, and then what we need to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of wondering why it's not. Okay, let's commit what we've got. And then I should probably take a break. Adding blank space between title and navbar. Okay, great. I like this plan. All right, so time to take a break. I will be back in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so let's see here. We have created our nav bar. We have, let's refresh so that we know what it looks like. We have a problem with the hover color, which is okay. I'm not too worried. But what we need to do is we need to have it hide and show different elements. So let's see if we can make that happen. We're going to use jQuery to hide and show. Just because we can. Dot show, dot toggle. Okay, great. Dot hide. Okay. And what we're going to want to do is when nav is clicked, when nav1 is clicked, we're going to want to, and we might want to change that. Nav1 meal nav. Yeah, let's change that right now. Because as much as I want to create nav1, nav2, blah, 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 I think it's probably more semantic to do meal nav, you know. Add meal nav. Actually, let's just do meal nav. And then let's do schedule nav. Okay, let's change our CSS. This is going to be schedule nav. And this is going to be meal nav. And let's save this. And we should probably commit that change. And then let's refresh and make sure that our styling comes out okay. Yes, it does. Great. Okay. So we're going to... I should probably just do add all, but okay. Changing IDs of nav to be more memorable. To be more memorable. Okay, great. I'm really confused by that random thing right there. Okay. And then we'll deal with this later. Okay, so this show target.show. Okay. So we need to do a click. All right. So now we're getting into the meat of it. Okay. So let's see here. And this definitely goes in client.js. So all right, let's do nav equals doop. And I'm not sure if it actually needs to be in a function. It may just need to be in the document already. Which is true. It may just be easier to put it in document ready. Okay, so let's say okay, and then we're gonna say dot click, and then let's look at our dot click method. Okay, and then it does, and then it just takes a function. Okay, great. Alright, and what don't you like about you? Okay, indentation, whatever. Okay, and then we're gonna say here, let's copy this. We're gonna copy that and do schedule nav. Great. Okay, and then we're gonna say and then we're gonna say dot show. And then what we need to do is we need to figure out what we're gonna, and then we're gonna do a dot hide. Okay. So let's see here. Let's make sure that we're doing that correctly. Dot hide. Okay, great. And then we're gonna say dot show. Okay, awesome. So let's figure out what we're gonna dot hide and dot show. Here we want to okay, we can just do calendar. Calendar dot hide. And then what we want to do is we can do section. Actually, let's add a, let's create an ID. Add meal section. And let's create a hashtag. And then let's see here. And then what we'll want to do is we'll want to reverse this. Dot hide, and then we're gonna say dot show. Okay, great. Save, and then save. And then let's... I don't think we have this on watch. So let's start and... Great. So let's go to here. Let's refresh the page. Haha. Perfect. Okay, it works. Now all we gotta do is figure out what the devil we're gonna do with that thing. And we should probably add a background to the calendar. And kind of float it down. Okay. Awesome. Let's commit this. Add a meal is hidden. Navbar shows and hides as appropriate. Okay, great. So what we probably want to do is we're going to say display meals. What we want to do is in here, let's do actually I kind of wonder, yeah, I don't think that we can chain that. So we're going to just put that in here. We're going to say hashtag calendar dot hide. And then we probably need to do hashtag display meals dot hide. And this is kind of a mess of jQuery right now. Which, you know, is okay, but it's like kind of... Okay, I need to do a hashtag right here, and let's make sure that I'm doing that right. Display meals, and then we probably need to... Actually, let's... const hide everything. What we're doing is we're creating this as its own separate function. Mostly because it may be useful to reuse it. And okay, and then we're gonna say hashtag display meal section. What was it? Display meals. Add meal section. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to call hide everything. Okay, let's make sure that this works the way we think it should. Okay, let's call it on the watch. Hopefully it does it as a watch. And I mean, maybe we should do it in some sort of nodey other sort of way. But I mean, I'm not sure if it actually needs to be, you know. Okay. Great. And then what we do is we click on schedule, and then we click on add a meal, and that's perfect. Okay. Awesome. Let's go to console. No errors. Great. Axe probably has things to tell me. Error details. Interesting. Okay. Perfect. What don't you... Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to work on that. Alright. So, I think that's it. Let's commit. Hiding all elements at first start. Okay. And I'm a little worried about the view here. I'm a little worried that the view is like a particular node specific thing. Because like, so for instance, if we go to blah 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 schedule, you know, that sort of thing, it may be like, I'm a little worried that URL is gonna, like, it's not gonna go to that URL. Like, I don't know. I'm worried that view means separate page. I guess, and I think I need to do a little bit more reading just to make sure that that's not actually the case. Okay, well, in any case, I think that we're in a good space. So let me document here. Implemented hiding and showing using implemented hiding and showing in navbar of different elements using jQuery. I hope this is what you mean by a separate view. Okay, and if it's not, then we're going to have a problem. I'm going to say done with that. Move calendar to separate view. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to do a little bit more research on the views. Because maybe I need to move it to a separate page or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I necessarily need to move it to a separate HTML page, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I need to do something else with it. I'm a little worried. Yeah. Okay. Well, worries. This is how you learn. Anyway, I hope that I hope you've enjoyed watching my stream. This is Delia Codes, making my first node capstone.